Alright, welcome back to Kunado Chronicles. Start by the Wicca Priest. Thanks. It feels like I was dreaming. But my head was crushed. I didn't have anything to dream with. Impossible. But there's something else. The thought that I can't have a dream without a head. It's the thought that I also need a head in order to be able to have. Which means I'm alive. I guess I'm alive. I'm pretty tough, huh? Let's open my eyes and see what's going on.
Yeah, 目覚めたか。黒髪の落とし子。
Why did my eyes look? I'm not gonna regret. Fuck it. I was looking at your boobs. I'm not regretting it. Fuck you.
名前で呼べと言われていたが、何だったか名前を忘れたものでね。
I didn't expect to wake up here. I ignored the professor's stupid comment and sat up. I'm lying on a table in the underground lab beneath the palace. I'm not keen on lying back down on a table and quickly hop down on the floor. Just to see how heavy the boobs are from down below. Hey, Professor.
君が目覚めたら最初に言おうと思っていたことだが、もしも自殺したいのなら頭部を狙うのはおすすめしない。君の体は内臓位置も強度も人間を模しているが、一箇所だけ異様に固く守られている部分がある。それが頭部、脳だ。他のすべてが人を模していても、鉄器の力を引き出す機構だけは人間には存在しない例外なのだよ。結果、頭部の芯だけは純粋に鉄器としての強度がある。ここへ運ばれてきた時も衝撃で混沌していたが、頭部を殴った腕の方が潰れていたというわけさ。ああ、なぜそんなことを私が知っているかというと、君が初めて目覚める前にちょっと体の中を覗かせてもらっていてね。その時に再生能力があることも分かったが、頭部だけは歯が通らず、脳がどうなっているかは分からないままなんだ。もちろん開けようと思えば開けられただろうが、さすがに姫様に止められてね。
This is going rapidly into pretty strange territory. I was planning on letting all of that just go past me, but I have to comment after that final line.
まだ話のオチまで言っていないぞ。
That's not the end.
これがいわゆる腹を割った話ということだ。
Stay away from the anatomy stuff. I still can't tell when she's joking. Enough of this anyway, more than enough. I shake my head. I need to get free from this comedy routine and go find Haruhime as quickly as I can. After knocking myself out, I left her without a reply to her confession. Clearly worried and confused. What the hell am I doing? There are two things I want to know. How long was I out for, and what am I doing here?
君がここへ運び込まれてから2日経っている。
2 days. The professor answers at once. 2 days means Haruhime's holiday will be over?
ここにいる理由は、傷は燕様が治したが、それでも君の目が覚めず、鉄器の専門家である私に預けられたのだよ。もちろん特にできることはないし、寝かせて観察していただけだな。
Kunado has knowledge but not technology?
さて、君の疑問に答えたので、こちらの疑問にも答えてもらおう。
there is something I really need to do. We can talk later.
なぜ自殺しようとしたのかね。
The professor cuts over what I'm saying. Kill myself? That stops me in my tracks. You know? Honestly, good question. Really. It's just thinking my punching myself in the head was an attempt at suicide. Imagine that. Well, that wasn't my plan. Although I did punch myself with intent to kill.
なるほど。何を言っているのかまるでわからないな。
The professor narrows her eyes.
ついに壊れたか？私の話をちゃんと理解しているかい？
I'm not broken. May you get extremely upset at yourself. You might feel like hitting yourself in the head or on the cheek. That's how it was. It sounds pathetic when I voice it out loud, but I tell the truth. I press my right fist to my cheek and temple again, but this time without any force. I just went a little too strong with it.
はは、そういうことか。
The smile comes back to the professor's face.
もっと特別な意味のあることを期待していたから、理解できる程度の出来事で残念だ。と思ったが、よく考えると面白い。
It is? I'm still trying to get out of this conversation, but she keeps making tantalizing word choices. The professor's personality aside, she can't think on her feet and maintain interest in what she's saying.
面白い。実に面白いことだよ。
The professor explains things happily.
聞きを読んでいる君の行動はとにかく合理的だった。最短や最速を追求しすぎて周りからはバカとしか思われないこともあるが不合理はなかった。先の士気撃退の策などその最たるものだろう。自覚があるのかわからないが君のそこまでの合理性はやはりまともな人間とは異なるものだと思うよ。
Is there a conclusion to this thesis anytime soon? I got something to confess to, and then fuck, and then get married, and then fuck again, and then not fuck for the rest of my life afterwards, but all the kids will have. I don't really care what she has to say, but I also can't see where this is going. The professor slumps her shoulders.
だからそんな君が自分に腹を立て死ぬ気はないが殺すつもりで自分を殴ったなどという何の合理もないことをしたことが面白いのだよ。まるで人間のようではないか。いや、一つ合理を考えれば姫を不安にさせて自分に注目させる目的があったのかもしれないわな。
Huh. I really didn't give things that much thought. Could it be that subconsciously that's what I was hoping for? It was done on a complete impulse, so I don't think I had that intention.
いやいや、他人の気を引きたいがために自傷するなど本人だけが合理のように錯覚している不合理。おしめも取れない子供のするようなことで変わりはないな。
Ah, that one lands so close to home it hurts.
さて、その不合理な行動の原因は何なのかね、少年。
The professor has a smile on her face as she asks me.
ちなみに、今は日の出前の朝方で、姫様は夜の見回り担当ではないそうだから寝ているだろう。
Damn it. That removes my reason to get out of here. My legs were itching to get moving, but the strength fades from them. I can hardly barge into Haruhime's room while she's sleeping and profess my feelings for her. That's what logic dictates anyway. Just to confirm the situation here. Firstly, did Haruhime tell you what happened prior to me hitting myself? I decided to have to give up on escaping. Everything she has said so far seems too accurate to be based on just guesswork and supposition. Not to mention the silly grin she has in her face. Which means, rather than intellectual curiosity, this is just good old-fashioned rubbernecking?
なんだ、気づかれてしまったか。つまらん。君がどう言い繕うかを知りたかったのだが。
The professor's manic energy quickly drains away. Now she almost sounds like a normal person. I don't believe I have ever seen her disappointed face before.
姫から聞いているよ。
The professor sits at the desk and spreads her hands.
君は突然キスをされ、告白をされ、その回答を保留するために頭を殴ったらしいな。
Wow. She really did tell you everything. I wondered if she would keep the kiss part to herself, but she seems to have laid it all out. Haruhime is always pretty open, that's true.
一応、体裁というものがあるらしく、事情を知っているのは私だけだと言っておこう。
Haruhime really does trust you, doesn't she?
ああ、そうだろう、そうだろう。
The professor laughs happily at my evaluation of her trustworthiness.
博士が誰かに話すことはないでしょうが、それでも口外無用と念を押しつつ、ちょっと聞いてくださいと事情を聞かされたのだ。当然、口外無用とはいえ、君は当事者だから話しても問題なかろう。
Okay, that makes more sense. As in pure trust, it was probably more that the professor doesn't have any friends to share this with anyway. She might have been able to talk with Tsubame about it, but the details are a little sensitive.
とまあ、私は事情を知っている。キスも告白もあまりにも無理やりで突然のことだし、今回に限って乱暴を働いたのは一の神、八剣への命令権を持つ女だ。君が合理の塊であればこそ、よほど混乱するのも仕方ない。姫もバカなことをしたと泣きっ面になっていたよ。
She did? Something about that bothers me. Why would Haruhime look upset?
なぜってそれは彼女が男の同意も得ずに唇を奪ったからだろ。
The professor looks puzzled at my puzzlement.
しかも君が不安そうにしている弱ったところでやってしまったそうじゃないか。褒められたことではない。
Ah, there's that old chestnut again. Male and female roles are reversed in Kanta. From my perspective, a guy suddenly being kissed by a girl doesn't feel like such a problem. Especially if the girl is cute. There's even a brash feeling of bring it on! What guy when girls not mobbing him in the street? Would feel weird, but flip those roles over, and it's like a man suddenly grabbing a woman and kissing her. Smells like the start of sex crime. Even if the guy was hot, being in a position of authority, that's a sexual harassment case, open and shut. Damn it! Why does simply swimming gender roles change in interaction so completely? I clutched my head for a moment. This is bullshit. This bullshit hurts more than pushing myself. From Haruhime's perspective, I was a crying booby heroine who runs off in tears. And a heroine with a real problem. Because she didn't accept to kiss her, but chose to bust her own head open instead. No wonder she feels bad about it. This swapped general girls is something I still don't have a firm handle on.
ああ、そうか。男女の情緒が君は違うんだったな。
The professor understands the situation now and shakes her hand.
そうかそうか、ようやくわかったぞ。君らは同じ悩みを抱えていたのか。
Looks like it. I've read at least toward the issue which even the professor doesn't seem to have the answers to. The situation has changed. It would have been better to test the waters with a little white thing than crashing right into this.
私からすると、男が男にキスをしたと認識した方が良いらしい。
Women kissing a woman at least. That's more my speed.
どちらでも良いが、
I'm all about
た
that
だの
beauty
一話
shit.
のすれ違いなど、馬鹿らしい話だ。
So you're a bi. The professor doesn't sound engaged in this at all. Probably not exactly what she was expecting or wanting to hear.
まったく、不安そうにしている男にいちいち欲情するなど、あの姫も欲求不満か。いっそ唇を奪った後に私の男になれと統治者の命令なり言霊を使う方がまだ女らしいぞ。
But she didn't. Well, I'm not so sure about that. If I wasn't involved in this, I can see how someone might say that about a man. But Haruhime doesn't know how to rely on other people. She feels like she has to do everything for herself. I am either quietly, almost to myself. We've been all around the houses, but come back to the same doorstep.
君、自分も同じだと分かっているかね。自分を罰するにもいちいち能力も込めた全力で頭を殴るなどバカなことだと反省するか。
Ah, yes, well, good point. Sorry. I've caused trouble for the professor too with my actions. I really am sorry. I apologize a second time, bowing my head.
こんなところか。どうやらおかしくなって自殺を図ったわけではないようだ。これで良いだろうか。
はい。博士、ありがとうございます。
The voices comes up from below. You, on my left wrist. Hey, okay. I realized something else. You has been silent this entire time. From the perspective of supporting your owner and keeping me safe, but that to harm myself would be a serious issue for you. While I was passed out, you would still have been able to speak and probably discuss this with the professor. Probably asked her to confirm why I unleashed hell on my own temple. And asked her to make sure it wasn't going to happen again. Hey, I'm sorry. Sorry, you are making me worry. Now do I feel like crying? My voice low as I look down at my left arm.
サポート AI である私に謝罪や弁解をする必要はありません。生命の破滅的な自傷行為や自己犠牲的行動にも一定の理解はあります。しかし、私には人間の心理を正しく理解するほどの能力はなく、博士にお任せしました。結果、オーナーが安全と健全であれば問題ありません。
Good. You has clearly been programmed to pass such determinations to others. There are limits to your functionality. And if AI was given sufficient emotions to start influencing human behavior, it would lead to destruction for them both. But I still feel bad about what I've done.
しかし、君も姫ものろけ話をするにしても相手を選ぶべきだろうに。
The professor doesn't sound impressed.
どちらも子供のように互いを好き合っているだけじゃないか。とっととくっついてまぐわって子がなせるか確認すればいい。私の興味はそれくらいだぞ。
Please, Don't say things like that. I need to give it voice, whether it's true or not.
何をやめろというのだ。姫は最初から君をそういう対象にしていると宣言していただろう。
From the start?
君が目覚めた翌日には伝えていて、未だに保留にされたままだと姫は愚痴っていたぞ。
The day after I awoke? What is she talking about?
オーナー、初めて温泉を訪れた時のことです。
You wasn't able to speak at that time, but she was still aware of her surroundings. She knows what happened. Okay, hold on. I went to the bed that morning and met Fuyuhita for the first time. Completely the buff, dick swinging. A little naked nostalgia?
その時、春姫様とも会話されています。
風呂場か。君に告白したと聞いていたが、場所までは知らなかった。
Our conversation in the bath. I think back.
言霊は珍しい力であり、さらに男性の言霊使いは希少なのです。
Pochui. It's a rare power. It's even rare to find it in the man. Okay, I didn't know that.
私とあなたの子供なら、まず間違いなく言霊使いになるでしょうね。
A child from you and I would most definitely be born with the same power. Haruhime has a smile on her face, like I haven't seen before. She hits me with it straight. My brain dies right then and there. Because of its calculated nature, it kind of carries an air of reality to it that I can't pass off as a joke.
今すぐどうこうではありませんが、統治者として時代にも言霊使いを残そうとすると、そういうことを考えてしまうのです。
It isn't something we need to work on right away, but as a ruler, I do need to consider making sure I leave next generation Kunado user behind.
私一人で抱え込むのは嫌でしたので、心に留めておいてくださいまし。
I don't want to have to carry this round alone. Please keep it in mind for the future. That's what she meant by that. Really? I can't lie to my surprise. But thinking about it now, it does sound like a declaration that she might be up for it. Everything I've learned about Kunado Haruhime since then now gives that interpretation more credence. Credence, belief in or acceptance of something as true. Okay, new word learned and forgotten. If I had replied in the affirmative, she might have jumped on me right there. That sounds like confession enough. But I didn't think she'd be my eating all this time. Since that discussion, she's never touched upon it again, waiting in silence for my reply. Since this wasn't a sudden thing. It's been what? Almost 2 months since that bat? Talk about awkward. Tick, one might say. Does this count?
君が死んだら頭の中を調べられたのだが、目が覚めたのなら用はない。生きたまえ。
I'm sending again in shock while the professor prompts you to get out. I'm sorry for all the trouble. I never expected to feel sorry for hassling this particular individual. But for all her talk of revenge against the power of Kanto, she's a more rational person than she appears. How have you been spending your time, Professor?
君やユウ君の知識に合った蒸気機関だ。
The professor's face smiles again, coming back to a topic she's interested in.
雷の力を使った電気というのはまだよくわからないが、蒸気機関は原理も仕組みもわかりやすく再現できるだろう。今のところ 改めて君に質問したいことはない。
Okay. As T mentioned, heating steam inside an enclosed space, using the resulting eruption of steam to acquire power. If it really is possible to recreate that, then I might see cars and locomotives again in my lifetime. That's getting closer to civilization. I look forward to seeing your results. If we have time though, can I ask you one more thing? I'm ready to go back to my room from getting in the way, but I decided to push my luck.
なんだい？
Do you know Natsuhime? What kind of person was she? I've been asking around at this topic, so why not here too?
夏姫か。
The professor kind of looks off into the distance. Everyone seems to do that when you asked about Natsuhime. And then her expression tightens up a little.
あれはどんな人かという評価をするものではない。
So I've heard.
あれは人でなしだ。自然の力が人の形を模して人のように振る舞っていただけのものだ。鉄の人形である君が可愛く思えるほどタチが悪い。
It sounds like the professor didn't like her. Yeah. Do you have a personal grudge against her? I have to check. But the professor shakes her hand.
ないよ。夏姫は私のことなど眼中になかっただろう。夏姫からすれば能力者であるカントの民も無能力者である私も違いのあるものに感じなかっただろう。彼女は自己完結している存在だ。そういう意味では私を迫害しなかった統治者であるとは言える。
Haruhime had probably been defending the professor even before she became Ichinokami. But before that, it was Natsuhime who had the authority to remove the powerless professor.
君や春姫がそうであるように、言霊使いは人間というより装置としての意味合いが強い能力者だ。
Devices?
わざわざ言葉を使って自然や他者とつながり、自分ではなく他の願いを聞き届けることに意味を見出す傾向があるからだ。言霊使いは偶然に存在するのではなく、自然が必要とする場所と時間にそこにあるように配置された装置とも考えられる。その機能とは自然が求めているもので人が認識できることではないだろう。例えば夏姫が生まれるために過去の言霊使いたちは1000年以上も血筋をつなぎ、敵機という存在すら必要悪として発生したのかもしれない。人の物差しで測るという前提から間違っているかもしれないなら語るに益なしだ。
Not by coincidence. It's a device installed in place to speak, to tell stories.
結論として夏姫のことは理解できないし理解する気もない。
The professor's voice is light.
私は力を欲しているが言霊使いにだけはなりたくない。自然に従わせられるなどまっぴらごめんだ。それなら今のまま無能力者である方がマシだと考えている。
Although it's super inconvenient. I understand what the professor is saying, but I am a Katadama user myself. I can hardly deny my own existence. Still, an interesting perspective. The idea of the Katadama user as a device.
とにかく夏姫は恐ろしいものだ。うかつに語るものではないよ。
The professor loves to talk, but she finally wraps things up. She was able to defeat the Kurokami for everyone because of that terrifying strength, though, right? If she was a device, She completed the purpose she was designed for. The hero of Kanto. The hero of humanity.
それは事実だ。
The professor tips her head to the carefully pitched angle, neither affirming nor denying my supposition.
しかし黒髪は恐ろしかったが、人間が不用意に近づかなければ何百年でも無害なものでしかない。
That's also true. The people of the second and third civilization might still be around if they had maintained population control or been more careful with their technology.
それに比べ夏姫は恐ろしい。なまじ人の形と言動しているせいで、彼女が何かの気の迷いを起こせばカントは滅んでいた。いや、カントはどうでもよい。私という個人が気まぐれですらない些細なことで殺されることが怖かった。
But she wouldn't have paid you any attention, even if you were powered, surely.
そうではないよ、少年。
The professor gives an ironic laugh.
君が自分に腹を立て、全力で自分を殴ったというが、それを夏姫がしていたら、カントどころか、この地上がどこまで破壊されたかもわからないという話だ。
Whoa, okay. That gives me a chill. The potential for such damage originating purely from self-hatred. If Natsuhime was here right now, this peaceful slice of everyday nothing might suddenly end without warning. I see the professor's point. No.
いやはや、夏姫が黒髪と相打ちになってせいせいとしたが。
The professor mutters quietly. I realize she's looking at me with a faint smile.
何かは知らないが、まだ終わってはいないのだろう。夏姫が極限の装置であったのなら、君と春姫は一体何をするために残っているのだろうね。
Good point. I left the basement and sat for a moment, letting my eyes adjust to the darkness. There are lights in the corridor, but they're weak when compared to electric light. Well, at least the air is nice and clear up here. I draw in a lungful of summer for the first time in 2 days. It must be getting into August by now. The height of the season. Yet the Kanto summer remains a little cool on the skin. I bet things will warm up later. And I'm not just talking about the temperature either. Hopefully no one is going to overheat. I decided to just head back to my room. From the west wing of the palace to the east. I can see the sky getting brighter as I move towards it. Back to familiar surroundings.
お部屋で眠られるようでしたら、指定された時間に起こしますが。
You thoughtfully offers an alarm function. Nope. I just get changed and start working as soon as it's light.
承知しました。
She confirms my reply, then I move to enter my room. But then I stop. My throat feels dry. Good point. Let me get my cola. Much better. I've been away, sleeping for 2 days, meaning the water jug in my room might not have been changed. I choose to scoop some water from the pond by the corridor and drink it down. Nice and cold. One of the good things about Kanto is how simple river or pond water can taste incredibly delicious. Uh-huh. Eh? I look up at the voice and see a face peering out from my room slightly further down the corridor. Tsubame. Sorry. Did we wake you up? I raise a hand in greeting. Letting her know all is well.
まだ寝てなかったです。
A bird that won't fly the coop. Tsubame creeps over like an oversized swell animal. And then we're all-nighter, from the looks of it.
新お兄さん、起きたんですね。です。今回はちゃんとですって言ってた。
I'm sorry for upsetting you. And thanks for treating me. I bow my hand, including an apology for my silly actions.
いいの。8件の子たちを直すのもいつものことだし。
Sounds a little bit kinky. Thanks. Mainly the twins, I presume. From Tsubane's perspective, those sound like the little swords. I can imagine the pair of them coming home injured a lot, just from playing around, or from training. So much energy. Then Tsubame reaches out for me.
本当に大丈夫ですか?
Daijoubu, yes. She grabs my head, peering into my eyes, and then runs her hands up from her shoulder down to my right arm. It's a little exciting having a young girl putting her hands on me. This is part of her duties as a doctor. I let her manhandle me.
よし。もう平気。式の時のみんなほどひどくなかったもんね。です。
Yeah, I recall. Everyone got their asses kicked during the Shiki battle in the Kratos district, including me! Tsubame allowed us back into the fight that for just a couple of hours. If she hadn't been there, we would have been done for. Kanda might not have the civilization or culture from the past, but in that respect, the magical powers of the powered are not to be knocked.
ところで、新お兄さん、私は心配してなかったけど、はるちゃんがすっごく心配してましたよ。
I'm sorry. Tsubame gives a laugh, even as she tactfully warns me not to upset her friend. She also doesn't ask how I got injured. I wouldn't be surprised if your spirit animal is a penguin. She's a true physician. She doesn't need a reason in order to heal people. Yeah, I can imagine. I'm going to apologize to her as soon as I can.
はい。
Thanks. That's all it takes for Tsubame to think everything will be okay. She's so easy. It makes you worry that some insidious rascal is going to have his way with her. Although, she's the Roku no Kami, a sword. Someone told me that even though Tsubame couldn't crush Deki, she's still one of the most powerful powers in Kanta. She has a blood beast power. I bet her attacks are super acoustic. Maybe we'll get to see it someday? She might be able to liquefy your insides. Ugh. Okay. Very Mortal Kombat-ish, but maybe. I hope you survived the attempt, insidious rascal.
え?
That's just for myself. I'm definitely not that rascal. Sorry to derail you after an all-nighter. But did you have any contact with Natsuhime while she was alive?
夏姫様?
Tsubame looked surprised. I never got to meet her, so I've been asking people what she was like, trying to get some idea about her. I look to the east as I speak. Dawn will probably break in about 30 minutes. This seems like a good way to pass the time until then.
そうだね。ですね。夏姫様が一の神になってからは全く話さなくなっちゃったけど、その前なら夏姫お姉さんはたまに遊んでくれたよ。
Really? Tsubame provides a gentle answer. Strangely enough, this feels like the first time someone has spoken normally about Natsuhime. she played games with you? Normal games? That sounds far more normal than I was expecting.
私と夏姫お姉さんはちょっと似てるところがあったんだ、です。
You were? Natsuhime, who is sounding less and less human the more I hear about her, and Tsubame? Their abilities seem completely different. They look completely different too. Hold on. I've never even seen pictures of Natsuhime. How could I compare their appearances?
私と夏姫お姉さんが似てたのは敵機と戦うのが怖いってところです。
Tsubame gives a nervous laugh. Scared to fight the Deki? Well, that does sound horrible. There are lots of aggressive folks in Kanta, but that doesn't mean they all love fighting. There will always be exceptions. I'm scared of fighting too, and I don't like it. I can understand Tsubame being scared of fighting Deki. That's cute. Huh. That's what was similar? You mean Natsuhime was scared to fight them too? I brought you and you together and it takes me by surprise.
そうです。夏姫お姉さんが自分で言ってたから。
Hold on. She's incredibly strong, right? Like crazy strong?
黒髪を打倒するほどであれば、指揮ですら相手にならない戦力であることは間違いないはずですが。
You offered a full explanation for my surprised exclamation. If what Haruhime said was true, her sister never felt the pain once in her life, which means she was incredibly strong from birth.
そう、強かった。でも夏姫お姉さんは怖いって言ってた。
Tsubame raised her eyes upward, recalling the past.
私は昔ね、すごく子供の頃のことだから今は違うというか、今はそこまでじゃないんだけど、私は敵機と戦うのが怖かったし、訓練も嫌いだったのです。だってほら、血を使うのに訓練のたびに指先とか手のひらとか小刀で切らないといけなくて痛かったからね。
I see. That's rough for a kid. No reason she would enjoy that. Or anyone, really. Training equals pain, equals fear. That's the bit implied in her at a young age. Like going to the dentist, but without the anesthesia.
でも私、能力が珍しかったし、力も強いからって王宮で訓練しようって連れてこられまして。でもまだ子供で訓練も嫌だったし、住んでた場所がいきなり変わっちゃって泣いてばかりで全然ダメだったの。
Tsubame shakes her head to the left and right. Once she gets warmed up, she sounds more like a normal girl, like she does with Haruhime. That's cute too. Please continue. She speaks at such a leisurely pace. It's probably best not to interrupt her too much.
続き？そうそう。訓練が嫌で、私、王宮の人のいないところに逃げて、よく泣いてたの、です。
But when I became an adult, I could just cry all the time and think how miserable my life is. I didn't need no secret places anymore. Tsubame looks around.
ちょうどこの廊下にもよく来てた。いつかは思い出せないけど、その日も廊下の隅っこに座って泣いてる時に、 夏姫お姉さんと初めて会った、です。夏姫お姉さんは、泣いてる私を見下ろしながら言ったの。
私と同じように敵機を怖がっているという子はあなた？
Ah.
で、
I turned and looked behind myself. I thought I heard someone talking, and I didn't Tsubama's voice. Nope, there is no one there.
どうしたの？
Tsubama follows my eyeline, but there's nothing to see. Just my imagination. Back to the story. Natsuhime talked to you here?
しかも、偶然ではなく、夏姫様は燕様を敵機を怖がる子として認識されていたんですね。そうそう、自分と同じで気になるから探しに来てくれたんだ。ですね。
Tsubame happily flaps her sleeves around. There's a smile on her face. She seems to think of Natsuhime as nothing more than a big sister who looked out for her. The difference in her reaction compared to the others is striking.
それからも何度か夏姫お姉さんとはここで会って子供の私を膝に乗せて座ってくれたの。
That is adorable.
それだけでぼーっとしてて特に何もしなかったね。泣く子を慰めるとかおしゃべりをしたわけではなく、何もしないしほとんど話もしないの。あの時はそれでも遊んでもらってる気になってたけど、今考えるとちょっと変だね。
As Tsubame thinks back, she realizes sounds true.
でもあの頃の泣いていた私は夏姫お姉さんのあったかさが嬉しかったよ。
I see. Children need to warm to others. Even Natsuhime had physical warmth. The warmth of a physical body. So the Natsuhime you knew was a kind person?
でも
She starts to see something and then looks aside to cover her stutter.
何かまだあるようです。
Easy to spot that. But no need to see anything you don't want to. I check out Tsubame's feeling.
話していいのかな？大丈夫かな？別に変な話じゃないし、もう黒髪も倒したんだし。
It sounds like it's okay. There is something else.
夏姫お姉さんと最後に私と話した時のこと。
みんな、私が黒髪に挑むことを期待しているそうです。なぜでしょうね。関東の民には多くの戦うことが好きだという者がいるそうです。死を恐れない勇気ある者がいるそうです。そうであれば、なぜそういう者たちが黒髪に挑まないのでしょう。戦うことが好きであるなら、死を恐れぬというのなら、挑めばよいではありませんか。こうなさねば赴くことも叶わずという掟は知っています。しかし勝って戻るつもりであれば子などいりません。そも黒髪に挑むほどの勇気があれば掟を気にする必要がどこにあるのでしょう。結局黒髪に挑むということは死にに行くことだと皆が承知しているわけです。そうであれば 黒髪に挑めと期待されている私は、皆に死ねと期待されているのでしょうか。
英雄と呼ばれた夏姫様も、その心は死を恐れる人間であったということですね。
You shared some impressions of Natsuhime's words coming via Tsubame. It was like some kind of a messed up game. I muttered to myself, the words just slipping out. Like being handed a gun from someone else and told it wasn't loaded, but also being told to shoot yourself with it. Oh, don't worry, it isn't loaded. In other words, as the ultimate Kodama user, she would be able to defeat the Kurakami. If she believes what she's told, then no matter how many times she pulls the trigger, nothing is going to happen. She's safe from beginning to end. But the fear of pulling the trigger is something going to blind the gun to her head can know. We finished talking? When I come back to myself, I realize Tsubame is gone. Eh? Tsubame?
話も終わり、オーナーが無言で疲れていそうだからと、部屋に戻られましたが。
Oh, I see. It seems like I lost some more time. We reached the end of our chat, so it's probably okay. I lean on the handrail a little. I've been asking people about Natsuhime to get something to write for my book, but everyone has such different impressions of her. I'm not sure what to write at all now.
ユーリ様やソメ様のような一般の方からは英雄と、葵様は自分と同じように全力を振るうことができない、すなわち悔しい思いを抱く者と、最も身近であったはずの春姫様は深い洞察を持ったわからぬ人だと、四季博士の考察として人でなし、燕様にはぬくもりを与えた優しい人。
You sums everything up we've uncovered so far.
見事に人物像がバラバラです。
You left the key out.
ええ、まあ。
You doesn't see the need to dwell on that. She said something about Natsuhime pissing her off. But I think I can like Natsuhime too.
オーナーは今のところ、どなたの意見が最も夏姫様の本質を捉えていると思いますか？
That's a good question. I lean harder onto the handrail and give it some thought. I think they are all probably correct in their own ways. I do see one thing linking them. Looking at something from multiple perspectives can reveal more of the truth about it.
傾向？
All of them seem to be seeing something of themselves in Natsuhime. Let's just give my answer.
なるほど。
You seems to agree after considering that for a moment. It's almost like Natsuhime took on the role that other people desired for her, desired of her. We only have few hits left. I murmur. How did Natsuhime appear to him? From the objective facts here, he's the one who knew Natsuhime the best.
夜が明けますね。
I said I would start work once it got light, so you let me know. I looked at the sky in the east. It's morning. And boop, I'll see you in another episode real soon, so feel free to subscribe. It's free of charge, and bye bye.